Explore the future of dating in India by 2040 as AI takes center stage. Sara discusses the future of dating in India by 2040. She predicts that AI will be used for over 95% of matches, with only about 15% being human. Sara suggests the plan involves creating an AI dating platform. But the business model of this platform is based on renting out AI partners and friends. Sara mentions the potential for normalization and acceptance of such practices. She also talks about the impact on traditional relationships and norms. Sara concludes by emphasizing the shift towards digital solutions for relationships. She questions the acceptance of AI partners and their impact on traditional values. Sara discusses trends in relationship types, including those influenced by social media. Sara discusses biofeedback and its applications. Sara discusses business and love in India. Sara discusses why she wouldn't do something if she couldn't. She expresses dissatisfaction with certain aspects of modern dating and marriage. Sara mentions seeing something related to data or a driver's license. She discusses her own situation, mentioning she's from Bangalore and has cleared CAT exams. Sara describes challenges in finding a suitable partner due to financial expectations. She explains that if a man earns 45 lakh, he might think she is educated and smart. Sara contrasts her independence with societal expectations of marriage. Sandeep discusses traditional versus modern dating views. He mentions Sara's perspective on evolving standards and expectations in relationships. Sandeep talks about the impact of societal changes on relationship dynamics. He references a study showing that modern dating apps have changed how people meet and interact. Sandeep concludes by highlighting the shift in relationship expectations and the role of technology. Sandeep Das discusses marriage at the AI level, mentioning Sara's expert opinion. Sara explains that you can marry someone even if they are an AI partner. They discuss a real-life experiment involving MBA students and McDonald's employees. Sara mentions that God is always available as an option, even better than the unicorn partner. They conclude by emphasizing the subconscious brain's role in decision-making and the importance of personal choice. Sara discusses a $15,000 McDonald's variant, asking if it would be worth it. She mentions 80% of people would buy such a product, highlighting its potential market. They explore different scenarios, including a multi-billionaire's perspective on glamour and fame in Bollywood. Sara concludes by saying that friction will come, suggesting potential challenges ahead for the product idea. Sara conducts an experiment by talking to people socially. Four women discuss their plans for living together in a small bungalow in 2040. Sara discusses discrimination in India and its impact on women's lives. She mentions that 15% of the population in America is from India. Sara talks about progressive changes in Indian society and their impact on women's rights. She gives an example of a woman who works in the IT sector in India but faces challenges at home. Sara mentions that despite progress, there are still issues like domestic violence and gender inequality. She provides a specific example of a woman in Delhi who works in IT but faces challenges at home. Sara emphasizes the importance of women's rights and progress in India for societal change. Sandeep discusses unrealistic expectations in relationships. Sara mentions a minimum of 1 crore for marriage, highlighting financial pressures. Many women across the world face significant challenges in finding suitable partners. Sara is an IT engineer and has worked for 27 years living in America with her husband. After 2 more years, Sandeep finally proposed to Sara with a marriage proposal of 50 lakh rupees. The conversation shifts to financial topics with questions about minimum salaries and educational backgrounds. Sara discusses her experience at IIT Bombay, mentioning Google as a potential employer. The discussion turns to living in New York City and the high cost of living there. Sara mentions that only 0.1% of women are available for dating, suggesting a scarcity issue. The host explains that men are not the problem in this scenario. Sara discusses her Instagram account and its impact on social media, mentioning unrealistic numbers. He explains that most people fall into the middle category, with around 80-85% being happy in their marriages. The host notes that while some may leave marriage due to unhappiness, it's a rare reaction compared to the majority who stay. The conversation shifts to discussing content and its impact. The host discusses how content affects personal relationships and mental health. Sara explains that the issue is complex and involves cultural aspects of dating. The host concludes by emphasizing that this is a complex issue with no easy solutions. Sara Sara suggests that the problem lies in how we perceive and approach dating today. The discussion concludes with a focus on the complexity of modern dating issues. Sara shares an incident where she had to filter out 15 potential matches before finding someone suitable. Sara has the freedom to date anyone she likes, unlike traditional practices. She can also choose from 3 to 4 different types of relationships based on her preference. Sara earns 5 lakh per month, allowing her financial independence. But the host discusses the importance of having the right friends for a successful wedding. The host talks about the current state of dating apps, suggesting that people are swiping without genuine connection. He concludes by saying one's value is not defined by a single date or swipe on an app. He mentions social media's role in providing many options but low connection rates. Sandeep emphasizes the disruption of this space with AI. The video discusses AI partners and their impact on modern dating, featuring insights from an insider. It mentions a concert by AI artist Arijatka and questions about its authenticity, including whether it's real or an AI performance. The host introduces Dr. Ian Pearson as a futurist who discusses potential future scenarios involving AI and robots in the year 2036 to 2040. Emotions are discussed, with AI expressing emotions and understanding human feelings. Sara questions the need for all these advancements, suggesting a more natural approach to sex and relationships. The AI can mimic any appearance or expression as requested. But the conversation concludes with a query about AI's role and its effects on people's lives. He reiterates the questioning of AI's influence and its implications for personal interactions. Sara concludes by questioning if wealth and status are enough in modern dating. He mentions Sara's emotional state and her advice on relationships. He discusses global trends, including a nostalgic view of relationships and marriage. Sandeep explains the decrease in stable relationships and its impact on sex life. Sara discusses how having many options can lead to less satisfying sex. She questions whether more choices should result in more sexual activity. Marriages also lack emotional connection and are decreasing in sexual activity. They discuss 5 mistakes to avoid, and Sara justifies her decision based on social media. Sara advises taking the leap instead of overthinking, suggesting a psychologist's advice. Sara mentions that as people become more comfortable with AI, they will eventually prefer it over human interaction. Sara predicts a decrease in quality of life as people rely more on AI companions. The host concludes that while solo travel is not bad, making it a lifestyle can lead to loneliness and lack of social interaction. Sara discusses solo dating trends, mentioning a 24-year-old woman in Gujarat inspired by Netflix. She explains that this is called the solo game and cites statistics on its popularity. Sara discusses cultural context and how it affects communication. Sandeep Das mentions being rejected for a job and Sara's advice on communication.
Sandeep Das explains why people might ghost others due to communication issues.
Sara discusses her inability to communicate politely and the importance of maintaining an ecosystem in relationships. Sara suggests investing in mental health startups and AI partners. Sara discusses the challenges of modern dating apps, including social issues and emotional needs. Sara concludes by saying that while AI partners may seem appealing, they might not be the solution to relationship issues. The guest discusses living in arrangements and success in marriage, suggesting riding through waves. She notes a worrying trend in divorce rates and suggests it's not necessarily a bad phenomenon. Sara explains her Siner curve graph, asking what it means. She discusses home equality and a book called The Rise of Traditional Vibes. He talks about TikTok's impact on phenomena like feminism. He mentions Sara's dissatisfaction with her job and desire for freedom in personal life. Sara discusses how traditional roles are challenged by feminism. She mentions the roaring 20s and changing societal norms in the 1930s. Sara explains that the subconscious brain does not change. She discusses trends and how they will eventually be accepted by the subconscious mind. Sara is introduced as a global sex expert, providing insights on the topic. The discussion moves to respect in relationships and the role of subconscious mind. Sandeep concludes by fitting all these points into a broader context for the US audience. Sara explains she doesn't come from a society with mutual respect. She states that lack of respect exists among friends and family. The situation is difficult and complex for him. They are all hiring for experience-based roles. But few people can join such exclusive opportunities. Divorce numbers will increase significantly over the next 2 years, says the guest. But the host explains that people are cheating on dating apps due to the lack of validation and trust. He states that this leads to a communication gap as people realize dating apps aren't reliable platforms. Such people have no real value but can be quiet support systems. Sandy predicts an epidemic is coming, affecting generations. He suggests preparing for this epidemic by taking action now. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a like and subscribe.